Hi, diddly ho, friendaloons. It's Rale. It's once again time to Nintendo things on WBPL 76. I'm currently joined by Storm and Andy. Say hi, lads.
Hello
Hi,
there.
lads.
Whacker may appear at some point,
Potentially.
hopefully.
Whacker
Despite-
is never late nor early. He arrives precisely when he intends to. Yeah, man.
Despite how much we sass him, I do always enjoy having Whacker around.
He's a good guy.
Anywho, today's stream is Golden Sun: The Lost Age. For context, the reason why it's currently paused like this is because I had to enter a 260 character password using Game Boy Advanced on keyboard controls.
What?
Yeah, so what it is Golden Sun and Golden Sun: The Lost Age were originally meant to be one game, but the developers found, oh shit, this is too big, and so they made it two games. The first game is Golden Sun, which has been played by me before as part of another streaming service, and I believe it was Zyku who played it previously on WBPL 76. I did receive permission from him to do Golden Sun: The Lost Age, even though he hasn't finished his playthrough of it, because he has other games to play and doesn't think he'll be doing a stream of it for a little while.
Yeah.
And for those...
Oh, so it's the choices you made. It's all the
Yes.
details. It's not just a password, it's the saved data, essentially.
Yes, the password is a way to transfer save data if you don't have a 2 Game Boy Advances and a link cable. Or in this case, if you're playing on Switch. And yes, it is all save data. In this case, lots of people will use... There is a password out there that gives you all level 999 characters from the previous game and all the best items and everything. This is more stable. This gives you... The previous game was a level 30 clear, which is about standard level for the end of that game, along with a decent amount of gold, a couple of stat-up items, and everything needed for that. Anything that you could miss that isn't available in the Golden Sun 2, and all the special events.
Excellent.
Mercury.
Sorry, I didn't mean...
No, you're fine. Who doesn't enjoy the smell of toast? Yes.
So long as there are no pennies in the process.
Yeah, and as long as you can still feel your right arm. Anywho, let's go. I need to turn the game a little bit down. Do you want to read this, Storm?
Ages ago, or so the stories tell, the power of alchemy ruled over the world of Wayard. Also, you might want to put it in Discord.
No, I was already working on that.
Alright, continue. Alchemy wrought the base elements of humanity into thriving civilization, like lead into gold. But in time, man's dreams gave birth to untold strife. Dreams of endless riches, of eternal life, of dominion over all that lived. Dreams of conquest, of war, and of these prices.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
These dreams would have torn the world apart if not for a few brave and wise men who sealed away the power of alchemy deep in Mount Aleph's soul sanctum. Prologue from Book 1.
Which was the first Golden Sun game.
The scene with the eyeball. The town of Vale guarded the secret for many years until Isaac and Jenna, whose parents died in a storm 3 years before, disturbed the sanctum.
I love how they completely leave out Garrett because he doesn't actually matter.
This is sad. Saturos and Bendari of the Mars clan followed them into the sanctum. But with them traveled Jenna's brother, Felix, thought lost in the same tragic storm.
Or was he? Wait.
Saturos and Mindari stole the elemental stars, the keys to breaking the seal on the power of alchemy, and kidnapped Jenna and the scholar Creighton.
By the way, it's Minardi.
Oh, Minardi, okay. If these 4 jewels were used to fire the elemental lighthouse, the seal on alchemy would be broken. And then we would get an entire TV show about a boy with no arm. Isaac and Garrett set out to stop Saturos, rescue their friends, and return the elemental stars to their home in Sol Sanctum. And then there was that desert that you could get lost in.
Yeah.
They banded together with a young wind adept named Ivan and pursued Saturos and Minardi to Emil, a winter-locked town near Mercury Lighthouse. Seriously, place is cold. You want long underwear.
The longest of underwear.
There they met the guardian of the lighthouse, a water adept named Maya. With her, they pursued Saturos to the airy high atop Mercury Lighthouse. An airy high, not like a... Never mind. Isaac was too late to stop Saturos from firing the beacon and escaping. Again, Isaac chased him across Angara to the shores of the Karagol Sea. Taking passage on a troubled ship, Isaac crossed the Karagol to Tolbi. He spoke with Tolbi's leader, a strange man named Babi. Mercury decided to try to make horses into glue. He was considered mentally ill. Babi entered Isaac in Colosso as a test of his powers. Isaac's psi energy won Colosso and earned him Babi's trust. Babi revealed a great secret to Isaac.
As a note, there's debate on whether it's synergy or synergy. I will probably pronounce it one way or the other, or both ways, over time. It just depends on the day.
Yes.
I tend to default to synergy, though.
Well, yeah, because of psionic, psyker.
Yeah.
Thanks to a mystic drought from the lost land of Lemuria, Babi had lived for 150 years. He offered to help Isaac, who then headed down into Gondolin.
Gondor calls for aid!
In the town of Laivero, Isaac learned that Saturos and Minardi had kidnapped a young girl named Sheba, who they needed within the lighthouse. Seriously, dick move. Isaac fought and defeated them atop the lighthouse, but he was too late. The beacon had been lit. A great cataclysm followed. Sheba fell into the sea. Felix jumped in to save her, but both were lost in the rolling waves. Jenna left the lighthouse to find them, but to no avail. Isaac went to Lalavero, where Babi asked him to find Lemuria and the remaining lighthouse. He gave Isaac a Lemurian ship to make the journey for the Lost Land.
Also lighthouses. There's 2 more.
The chapter of our story begins with Jenna, just before the beacon on Venus Lighthouse is lit. And also Isaac spent a good portion of that trip vomiting because he was not used to ships. It was bad. The boy needed a doggy bag. Why is the screen black? I can't see. Oh God, the sky! Camelot presents.
Some context, I never actually played Golden Sun first. I first got Golden Sun The Lost Age.
Golden Sun, Book 2.
Bird.
The Lost Age.
Also, remember this was on the Game Boy Advanced.
Aw, yeah.
And it looks this good. Well, now it's just the little guys, but still.
If he's standing in front of the lighthouse when it turns on, does that make it the blinding of Isaac? God damn it, UNC.
Well played. 1 sec, it looks like my chat froze.
You.
Refresh. There we go.
Are you sure you should be leaving like this? Once we go down the stairs, we can't get back. Maybe I should have stopped my brother.
Jedi, is something troubling you?
We are not going to do all the voices for this, because, oh my god, the literal only complaint I have ever had with this game is it is a wordy game. You are going to have to read, chat, because my throat will not survive trying to read this.
What is that? What is wrong? I'm Whacker, I'm old. See, Whacker's in the game with us.
Right? Fucking Alex.
Incidentally, the light bulb hasn't actually been invented yet.
Well, actually, considering this whole world is like post-apocalyptical after a golden age, it's entirely feasible there was an alchemy light bulb before this.
Pop out. No.
You imagine somebody being taken to like an insane asylum and he's screaming, "Alchemy is more science than magic! Alchemy is more science than magic!" And they're just like shuffling him away.
Potentially.
So alchemy seems like magic to a normal people in this setting, because normal people cannot actually see like synergy. They only can see the effects. Fucking Alex is a dick. Yeah, Alex is the kind of guy who will say something out of turn, sort of, and then when he realizes, oh, I goofed up, he'll backtrack his statements. He's that kind of autistic. Also, hello, Pistol.
Pistol?
Oh, sure.
No, Jenna, you need to be leaving Venus Lighthouse right now. Shit is about to go down. There's a plane flying overhead. At least I think. Oh, are they mowing the lawn right? They may be mowing the lawn today. Well, nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Luckily, my section of the lawn is fairly small. At this point in the story, no, Jenna, Isaac would not understand. Isaac is on a holy quest. This is where the big divide in the quote-unquote bad guy party from the first game is that Felix, Jenna, and Kraden still wanted to light the lighthouses, but don't have a problem with, or don't want to screw over other people. Alex is ambivalent and will do whatever is necessary, and Saturos and Minardi were full-on renegade. We don't care. We're going to plow through anything that stands between us and our objective. They won't be able to beat Saturos and Minardi. No, it's who boy. Given that I know this save that we're using cleared Skull Island, it's a stop. Both Golden Sun games have a secret boss that if you can beat that secret boss, you're going to dunk all over the final boss.
Yes.
In the case of Skull Island, it's the Dread Pirate whose name I can't remember. Oh yeah, Deadbeard. But he's mostly just an HP wall who also negates buffs regularly. As opposed to this one, which has Dulhallen, who is one of the hardest bosses in all of RPGs. Also, this is one of the few games where it gives me the option to name the main character, and I won't. Like, I'll just use the standard name. You can actually, if you do stuff right, rename the whole party.
You're Billy, you're Bobby, you're Booby, and you're Brundle. I can only remember names of P, I'm sorry.
Bilbert. So for those who don't know, this is actually the last dungeon of the previous game. Well, part of it. This is the other entrance that you can exit out through, and you have to do some puzzle-solving shenanigans here. But, for instance, we checked this chest. The chest was already open, but it looks like there's still an herb inside. There's a really nice shirt in there, I believe, in the first game. It was already yoinked by Isaac and them. Hippity, boppity, hippity, boppity.
So, like, did you lose your gear and stuff in the last game?
No, we're a whole new party. The other party still has its gear. That's part of why we did the password, is because that allows you to transfer all your gear and levels and everything from a previous save of Golden Sun. This, right now we're playing as someone who was traveling with the bad guys the entire last game.
Yeah.
Seagulls.
Yeah, get them, man. Those seagulls are aggressive, I guess.
Nope.
Oh.
It's the army and some miners. The kind who dig, not the kind who are underage. And yes, seagulls are sea rats. Seagulls are honestly probably the worst bird. And I say this knowing of cassowaries. But anybody who likes seagulls has never had to fight a seagull for their lunch.
Yes.
Pineapples.
Because you think that people are like underselling it, how much seals will aggressively pursue your food? No, they are aggressive little bastards if you have food on you. I think a lot of cassowaries' reputation come from the fact that they're somewhat aggressive, but more, they're big enough that if they are aggressive, they are an actual threat. It's like the whole Chihuahua versus Pit Bull. Most Pit Bulls are actually very calm, lovey little dogs, but if they do decide to get aggressive, they can very easily hurt you. Chihuahuas, on the other hand, they're super aggressive, but are not really a threat to people beyond ankle biting. And a good punt will solve that problem.
Yeah.
Though I maintain that in all dogs, it's usually how they were raised and how their owner treated them. There are no bad dogs, only bad owners.
All dogs go to heaven, right?
Yes.
I mean, yes.
Big-lipped alligator moment! Bon, neither of you get that reference, do you? Chat, did any of you get that reference? Please tell me someone got it.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Zerga saying rename everyone the same name. How silly.
No.
Hey.
Also,
My owners are wonderful people.
thankfully, there's only those workmen block your route. Only them. Poor dudes. Just plain rude.
How very naughty of them. Gane.
Soldiers, I'm sorry, but Alex identifies as a threat.
Indeed.
Yeet! Be gone, thoughts. Go away. Remember, the people couldn't see the psychic part. All they could see was he waved his hand, and then suddenly geysers spouted up and yeeted their friends into oblivion. Yeah, now that they've seen that, they're like, oh no, screw the pride. I'm not dealing with that shit. Yes, run, peasants.
Run.
It just... How pants-shittingly terrifying would it be that someone essentially just used magic in front of you, and then is like, oh, you have reinforcements! Let's go see them. Like, oh, Oh, I'm in danger.
Oh, look who thinks he's a gorilla.
Magic gorilla versus 100 men.
I cast Ook Ook.
See what I meant about the beginning of this being a lot of text? Just try to hold back when you're fighting. Oh wait, the wizard's gone! I can handle a little girl and an old man. It's not like the little girl could also possibly be a wizard. And even worse, she's a fire wizard!
That be a smidge on the painful side.
Yep. Luckily, despite the battle showing him dissolving into ash, he is not dead. Praise Zorg indeed.
Yes, what Zorg praisery is this?
The solution to all problems is fire.
Why do they jiggle after they've been burned?
I don't know. Why do
Some
you
weird
jiggle?
fire. That's not burning. That's not burning. That's lunch from yesterday.
Samurai, have you never heard of fight fire with fire? Okay, now there's multiples, so now we're gonna cast the wide range fire spell. Doesn't quite okay them, but that's okay. They can't do the same to me. And the second one should do the job. At least to milk the guys out. Okay, now that they're nice and crispy, it's time to stick a stick and then they're done. Beat them with my rod! Yay. Maybe you are going somewhere after all.
Sensible.
Oh no, an ambush by a punch ant. Fume. There are a few things that praising Zorg doesn't solve. An ant bush, yes. The rock is gone, oh no. And now for a lot more talking.
Sorry, I'm distracted by work emails.
Yep, yep.
Semester's done, but now I'm having to figure out what classes I'm going to be teaching next semester. Well, not next semester, the semester after that. We already know what classes I'm teaching next semester.
Also, an
Maximum
item appears in
PP.
chat.
For extra Zorg praising.
One day,
Burning
item.
uranium.
One day, item. You will join us Oh, it is the borking time. Is it a time of, Father, how dare you not pay attention to us and only us?
Potentially.
The thingy that makes it go. Oh, first chat from Quattro Winner, and oh god, it's a Gundam pilot indeed! Oh no! Wait, it's a Gundam Wing pilot, never mind.
Gundam is great.
Gundam Wing...
Also, since you're a first-time chatter, let's hit all them... things.
Yes, hit all the messages. I don't dislike Gundam Wing, but a lot, and most of my problem with Gundam Wing is that a lot of the characters and plot just don't really jive with me. Mobile suit design-wise, oh, what is it? Wow, my brain is... The Tall Geese is just absolutely fucking dope.
Also, while I drastically disagree with Rale on certain things, except for the Tall Geese, and Tall Geese is dope, I will say that I like the idea of Catra here riding a Marauder too. As it is a command mech, and he was sort of the tactician of the group.
But I think that part of the reason I never really liked Catra is because I don't care for the Sandrock Gundam. It's just kind of boring to me.
They sad. They've done it.
I heard it was supposed to be like the tougher one, like more defense. But
Oh wait, which mech?
Sandrock?
Yeah. The one
It
with
was-
the two Shotels.
yeah.
Like, all the other Gundams in that series kind of have pretty solid design identity. The Sandrock just feels like it's missing something. So the tower got lit.
Yeah.
It's got those two big, like,
Professions.
Yeah, it's just got the
Yeah.
Shotels, but it like that doesn't really give it much in the way of like interesting systems to work with. So
Yeah,
the
it's
Venus. Okay, so the Venus lighthouse has been lit. The ground is crumbling. Anybody who's seen the ending of the first game knows that the lighthouse like splits into pieces temporarily. And now this whole peninsula has broken off.
Yes.
I'm sailing away. This is why Isaac and crew could not find Kraden and Jenna and them at the end of the first game, because the peninsula broke off and is, going out to sea.
Island boat.
Yeah. My other problem with Wing is I didn't really care for any of the upgrades to any of the suits. So I don't care for the base Wing Zero. The Wing Zero Endless Waltz version with the feather wings is fucking dope.
Endless Waltz, because what happens if we had a budget?
But the Wing Zero just feels like the Wing Gundam with 2 guns! Yeah. Okay, you and I are gonna have to disagree because I think the Death Scythe Hell, specifically in its open wing mode, is dumb looking. Also, its weapon upgrade was adding another blade onto the scythe. All of the Tall Geese designs are fucking amazing. I will brook no argument on this. Every version of the Tall Geese is great. So, Aiden, the problem with the heavy arms is that the Gundam Leopard from Gundam X did it better. Aiden finally joins at a sheer rage for me sassing the heavy arms. The heavy arms is great, but you need to look up the Gundam Leopard and Leopard Destroy, Aiden, because it does everything that it's basically the same design concept as the heavy arms of Maximum Daka, but instead of having titty guns, it has arm guns that swing off the backpack. It is not in leopard print.
No! All I can see in my head now is heavy arms in leopard print.
It is not in leopard print. Also, the leopard is actually fast because it has feet rollers that let it go zoom on the ground. Mercury Alpha, the problem with someone playing Gundam games on stream is there's not a lot of very good Gundam games. Zerg, Heavy Arms base does not have a better paint job. It has almost the exact same paint job as the Leopard. The Heavy Arms custom from the movie with the green paint job is dope looking, though. Does it still have titty guns? I don't remember. All I remember is that it's got the dual arm guns on the Destroy.
It also has titty guns, as Aiden points out.
Yeah. In general, I find that the difference between the Leopard and the Heavy Arms just tends to be preference. They're both great designs. I prefer the Leopard. Mind you, I also prefer Gundam X to Gundam Wing, so there is some bias in there. But it says something when both of them are good enough that the only thing is I have a preference for another Gundam with the same design concept.
My brain is slow moving today.
It must be the heat. Oh!
Very well could be.
So, at the end of Golden Sun, Sheba and Felix... Sheba fell off the lighthouse, Felix dived in after her, they managed to live and washed up on the island as it floated away. Sheba was the girl who was kidnapped. This is because she's a wind adept.
Oh.
Where are you?
Hidejima.
So, I have Gundam Breaker 4. It's a fun game to tinker around with, but it's not really great for streaming. Like, the gameplay itself is kind of mid, but its tinkering around with Gundam designs is... Aiden's like, wait, oh boy.
He's having a headache with pictures. A thought! Who named the Leopard destroyed's main armament beam cylinder?
I don't know.
The cylinder must not be harmed.
The cylinder must not be harmed. But it is. It's true. No! Yes, there is a Gundam Seed coming out this year. Yeah, so context for those who don't know, Gundam games historically have a reputation for mostly being cash grabs by Bandai Namco.
As are most licensed titles. Most, not all.
Yeah. Gundam Breaker 4, like I said, Gundam Breaker 4 is most fun when you're actually designing your mobile suit. Okay, Garen's Greed is an exception to that. Some of the really, really old story-based Gundam games are actually pretty decent. But it's few and far between. The vast majority of them are cash grabs.
Yes.
Also, it doesn't help that, it doesn't... A lot of my problem running into the gun customization from Gundam games is if that's all they've got, I could probably spend that much money on a couple high grades and just build the custom Gunpla.
It's the unfortunate reality of game monetization. One thing Leopard doesn't have, says Aiden. A bitchin' switchblade to slice and dice Oz suits with. I mean, bitchin' switchblades are bitchin'.
I could have sworn the Leopard had at least a beam saber on it. Aiden, the Switchblade is cool, but is also, like, feels like an afterthought of, oh yeah, we put all this guns, we should probably give it something for melee. A Switchblade. And now we know what side of the beam versus physical weapons argument that Aiden sits on. I'm the opposite. I'm a slut for beam spam. My favorite two mobile suits are the Calibarn and the Strike Freedom.
Now I'm imagining a Leopard drop ship that someone welded an arm with a beam saber to. Beam knife in its leg.
Yeah.
That's just reminding me of one of the unrunning jokes of one of my D&D characters, Yorick, which was how many knives he had hidden on his person at any given time, and he wasn't the rogue of the party, he was the barbarian.
Oh look, another continent! But wait.
But you already used boot knife. I have 4 boot knives. Well, 6 actually. Why?
Oh god, that just reminded me with the Infinite Justice version 2, because they couldn't figure out how to further enhance the melee-focused mobile suit. They decided to give its little horn thing its own beam blade, so now it has a beam blade on its forehead, too.
Lol.
Yeah, some of the latter-day Gundam designs start to suffer from late-stage anime problems.
It's a tidal wave.
I'm one of those, like, they call it, like, mass-produced bands. Like, I'm starting to fall, you know, you're kind of like more of the, like, the simpler ones. Like The Jespa? Oh boy, the Jespa's probably one of
The Jesta is not actually a mass-produced suit, it's a spec ops suit. It's like halfway between a mass-produced and a one-off. Yeah, they were specifically designed as spec ops escorts for the Unicorn Gundam, with the job of holding off normal mobile suits while the Unicorn throws down with the new type bullshit.
God. I do like the Toggies though. That's my favorite day there.
My personal favorite grunt suit is the Zowart Heavy. Anybody who does not know the Zowart Heavy mobile suit, check it out. Check
You
yourself.
guys are ending up on their back a lot in the past few minutes.
I mean, they've got hit before. They were just like lying down because they were abandoned on an island that's floating out to sea. This time they got hit with a tidal wave. Poseidon out here making all the ladies wet. Oh yeah, I know you'd be on your back if you got slapped by the fist of a pissed off Poseidon too. No, get up to there we go.
Here, Beck.
I mean, pissed Poseidons are pissing. Ooh, I'm excited. Tomorrow we're doing a screening of the animatics for Epic the Musical. My friends and I were also making Greek food for dinner, so
Nice.
it'll be a Greek night. And an entire musical about angry Poseidon.
And what's up, in case you missed it at the beginning of the stream, this is my favorite game of all time. Golden Sun The Lost Age is the best. I haven't checked everyone else yet. Jenna joined your party. Yay! We've obtained Fire Girl. Now we check on the old man. Ah, my organs, they are destroying. Can't even words right. Now we get Sheba. What happened to the tidal wave? Alright. And with that, no Alex around. Yes, of course he set out on his own. He's that kind of dick.
Yes. Wait, Brewster, I need clarification. Were you trying to say, my god, it is Truckcoon, or that you literally worship Truckcoon? Also, Samurai, why?
Now we have to go to the Great Western Sea. Go west, young man. I don't know the lyrics to that song.
Completely fair.
Chose God as Truckcoon. Remember, kids, if you need any motivation to play the most recent Kirby game, remember that you get to be Truckcoon. It's my destiny to the Wrath of Khan.
Indeed. Yeah.
Organs.
I'm slummy today.
I know the feel.
Quatre,
Quatre, yes, I did do a password transfer. As I was explaining to everyone else earlier, it's a 260 character password on a Game Boy Advanced keyboard.
What were you saying, Andy?
I said, did you eat a lot of cheese?
No. Just...
What?
Little trouble sleeping last night.
Sorry about that, dude.
Oh, it's okay. At our age, things start to show up. In my case, sciatica.
Jesus, Aiden! Throwing out the absolute hate for Sheba.
It's so mean.
To be fair, Ivan is the better wind adept out of the two, so that's the reason most people throw her to the back line afterwards. I don't do that because I'm weird and don't go for optimal playstyles, and instead I go with the actual parties in their original concept. So backline just ends up being the original party, and I don't use them as much. A lot of that is because, again, I started with the Lost Age for my first one, so I got attached to the characters from it way more than I did from the original Golden Sun before I ever played the original Golden Sun. Okay, before we go into this first town, I need to run to the bathroom because I made the mistake of not going to the bathroom before the stream started. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, Brewster, that has been a relatively common problem lately. Windows updates will automatically turn on stuff like Power Saver. Always keep an eye out for that.
I return.
Alas, our doom has come.
Actually, we're going to do a quick save right now. So, for those who know what goes on with the game, what do you think I was doing on my own personal save?
Grinding.
All they should really need to see is what level I was at and where I was at. Anywho, your game was saved. You've not been to Dahlia or Dyla before. Continent of Indra. Oh, before I forget. There we go. Doot, doot, doot. Mind reading. So this place, as you can see from the standing water, got also nailed by the tidal wave. Checking, making sure chat didn't freeze on me. Nope, chat's just being quiet.
It's a quiet morning.
It's an afternoon now for me.
It, well, actually, just turned noon for me. The sun has graced the height of the sky in my mountain.
I mean, also the kind of time where children could just stay gone for days.
How children-y of them. Like any good child, I will invade the privacy of your mind.
Also, how do load?
It's load.
The crops will have a bad time.
Yes.
I can't do anything with that yet. I forgot to check the barrels in these other houses. Or in this house, at least.
Need. On the upper side, if you do it right, you can make funny salt cubes. Says Zerg. The Pokemon timeline. Take this Spark Dog and don't come back till you're a champion.
Yeah. The thing is, you don't start with the Spark Dog, though you get the Spark Dog pretty early in Sword and Shield, at least. You get something that does fire, something that does water, or something that does grass. So choose, are you a cook, a plumber, or a farmer? We got 3 coins. The dichotomy of children. One puddle. Oh god, I fell in a puddle. My mom's gonna be mad. The other child. Woo! Puddles! Oh my. Badoo?
Nerds. We have been identicied.
Aiden! Yay!
Oh, God.
How do?
His hair to style on you, Rale.
How do? Do good. Good
Oh.
do.
How you been?
Not bad, not bad. Wrangling the dogs, you know. I didn't get to hear your response to my hate for Sheba because Anka peed in the kitchen and I had to go deal with that, so, you know. They are 3 young beagles and thus they are a handful.
Beagly.
I don't get why your hate for Sheba was so virulent. Like, I understand not liking her. She's underutilized as a character and overshadowed by Aiden being better stat-wise, but...
By who being better stat-wise?
Ivan.
Okay, you said Aiden, and I'm like, what?
I thought I said Ivan. It's those 2 letters sound somewhat similar, though.
Now I want to cast an RPG using Legion members.
Go for it.
Aiden, you get to be the shonen protagonist.
Oh boy.
Actually, the coin's weapon
But yeah.
first.
Anywho, I'll be truthful with you. I don't actually hate Sheba. She's the bottom of my tier list of all playable characters in Golden Sun 1 and 2, but I don't hate her. I do think she and Jenna are catty teenage girls, which automatically makes me annoyed just because, you know, catty teenage girls.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you buying a new weapon for Sheba when you've got the Shaman Rod?
I forget I have the Shaman Rod. Luckily, I didn't actually buy a new weapon for her.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I misunderstood what I was saying.
I was going through stuff. You.
Give stick.
Yes. Jenna gets a new weapon, but she gets a sword because her weapons are generally better.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is Sheba is, yeah, Sheba, her weapon selection, her spell selection, she's Mia, except less useful.
Not really. She's really Ivan, but slower.
She's Mia, but less useful. She has Ivan's spell list, but she's a mage-type character, but she doesn't get the benefit of Ivan's weapon selection, and she doesn't get the benefit of Mia's healing magic selection.
I mean, until you get her to the right class.
Yeah, I'm discounting Ginny Fuckery because Ginny Fuckery lets you do goddamn everything.
My bottom of the tier list is actually Piers. Mostly because he is hard to get into a class that works with his stat lineman and equipment. Because he's not built to be a healer, despite being stuck as a Mercury user.
I can't remember what class I usually peg him as, but
There's
generally,
a paladin class that he's pretty decent in.
Yeah, generally speaking, I go full offensive tank striker with him. I ignore magic for that dude.
Yeah.
Because he's statted like a heavy. He's Water Garrett.
Water Garrett with more plot relevance than Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett's there to be the token idiot when you need somebody to hold the idiot ball for the plot's sake.
Yeah. I mean, the introduction, I forgot, completely leaves Garrett out. Like, he's not mentioned at all in the summary for Golden Sun 1. All the other crew are, but Garrett is left out, because nobody cares about Garrett.
I care about Garrett. He's fun. He's the Ed to the Ed, Edd n Eddy of Felix Isaac Garrett.
Fair. I mean, I actually think my favorite Wind Adept is Ivan's daughter. Karis is fucking dope.
I mean, you've heard my opinion on Dark Dawn, so...
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember much about the characters because I was underwhelmed.
No, I do not need the explanation about Jin.
No, but what you do need to do is tell him to fuck off until he gets desperate and starts begging.
Well, it's too late for that.
That's fair.
Shaman time.
No, we are nowhere near Shaman Village.
So, have you ever actually sat down and done a run through this without using any Jin?
I have never done a Jinless run, and that's because that sounds like absolute torture. I also love the class system and can't stand to not use it.
Oh, I love the class system as well. But, you know, for funsies, when Zai started playing this, I picked it up again and did a Jinless run. Like, I collected them all.
I remember you
but
being
kept
in
them.
chat also and talking about that.
Yeah.
Whacker.
I am currently on that save because I got ADHD'd again and put it down. I am at the point where I'm ready to fight the Doom Dragon, and I'm working my way through the Anemos Inner Sanctum.
Are you gonna try to throw hands on Adult Howland without Jin?
Fuck no.
Also, that is like one of the most 80s anime villain names ever. The Doom Dragon.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, not Adult
I
Howland.
fucking love it.
Dullahan.
Yeah, Dullahan? Yeah, Dullahan. So, fucking Dullahan Solo, even if you wanted to, you're not going to be able to do a Jinless fight against him because he has bullshit moves that will...
Oh yeah, he'll force your Jin onto you.
Yep. So, you know, technically, so does Karst and Valukar. If you want to be technical about it.
Yeah, but those two like disable them, but don't actually like use your own summons against you.
No, Valukar 100% uses your summons against
Did
you.
he?
That's his whole yeah, that's his whole
So
shtick.
redeems a water break.
Sippy
Alright,
sippies.
sippy time.
Karst, her whole thing is she will force some to be on the recovery mode, and they automatically activate when they finish recovering, so that is a thing.
Yeah. I don't know, I never let Karst live that long. I know she has access to a one-shot move, so she's the priority target.
Not wrong. When you're going Jinless, it's a lot harder to just Alpha Strike nuke her out of existence.
Also a posture check and an eye break, so eye break time.
You know who the biggest bastard of a fight in Jinless is, though, as far as I've
The
found?
Star Wizards probably would be a fucking nightmare.
I don't think I've done Star Wizard. I haven't tried him, so excluding the optional bosses. Let's go it that way.
Let me think for a moment. I'd say Poseidon.
Hands down, because he has a party wipe insta-kill move, for one.
Oh, lovely. I forget about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think it's his Watery Grave move, has a chance to insta-kill on hit, and it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
full party hit. Yeah.
You lack discipline.
Pulls off the belt.
If you fail his training, does he start nuking you?
Meh. I feel like this one does less good than the other one. The other one wiggled back and forth, but he stayed straight up the whole time.
This guy at least has shown that he has a better grasp of correction when he starts to lean.
Fair.
The other dude just kind of wobbles around.
Wibbles wobble, but they don't fall down. Wibbles wobble.
Oh god, they do fall down, they do! Oh god, it's horrible!
So, what's up? In this game, the ultimate summon is throwing your enemies into the sun. It's also a full party heal, and the only heal in the game that affects your backline.
Star Wars Episode 10, Return of the High Ground.
Oh my god.
Also, I just realized that the first chest in this game is a fucking mimic. And if that doesn't set tone, nothing does.
Hey, buddy. Looks like you want some loot. No.
Also noted...
Actually, you know, I guess it's the first chest after you actually get out of the tutorial and have your whole party.
Yeah, there's no chest in the first section. That's the first one.
In the Venus Lighthouse, there is a chest with an herb.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the herb chest. That's already been opened.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first, like, dungeon chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get out of tutorial space.
Oh,
First
also,
time I've seen a mimic seen as a crab, like.
so Golden Sun does do a neat thing, though it never explains this. You can tell what an enemy is weak or strong to by the punctuation on their stuff. So, take the Mimic. Shiba casts Ray. Notice that Mimic takes 28 damage, ends with a period. That means he's resistant to it. So the Mimic is resistant to wind. But he did not have enough health left, it didn't matter.
Yep.
But if it does normal damage, you get an exclamation point. If it's super effective, you get 3 exclamation points. Or exclamation.
Exclamation!
Exclamation.
I will state, not being used to RPGs, this dungeon was kind of a little bit of a nightmare as a kid. On the original Game Boy Advance screen, without any light.
Yep. Hip, you're gonna fall down, boy. Oh, God. Please fall down. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I'm being gassed. Send help. It's a war crime.
Someone call Lady Red.
She's laughing in the distance at me.
Oh.
I love the puzzle design and everything in this game.
It's generally pretty solid. None of it's too opaque that you don't have the ability to intuit the solution. But when they want to, they make it at least complex enough that it takes a little bit of thinking. Like, they're all very much just basic incarnations of move box to location.
Yeah. Or have the right thing to get past this obstacle. But like this here, like, yeet.
Yep.
That's what screwed me up the first time I played this, is because I couldn't figure out I was supposed to go behind the poles. Because I was a dumb kid.
Well, I mean, also if you're used to, like, NES, some SNES, old Game Boy RPGs, the poles would block all three squares that they're occupying.
God damn the music for this game.
It's good.
Amazing music.
If I recall correctly, the composer for Golden Sun was Motoi Sakuraba. Yep. You know what else he's done?
Lay it on me.
Dark Souls.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's done quite a few things. He did some of the Star Ocean games.
Yep, Star Ocean, some of the Tales of series. Mario Golf, of all things.
Well, that's because Camelot, the guys who made this game, are behind most of the Mario sports games.
Fair.
It's infuriating because I want to play the Mario sports games for the Switch, but I have sworn that I shall not play them until we get at least a remake on the Switch, if not a Golden Sun 4.
He works with another couple fellas pretty frequently, it looks like. Shinji Tamura and Yuka Kitamu.
Yeah, some arrangements for Smash Bros. It's a lot of Nintendo based stuff, but yeah. When I saw that Dark Souls had the same composer as Golden Sun, I'm like, ah.
Oh, it's kind of like, trying to remember his name. Brian Tyler, I think.
I just forget how much damage the Synergy does at the beginning of this game. Because it feels like it gets weaker later on.
It kinda does.
Yeah, Brian Tyler, who started out doing like Sci-Fi Channel original scores and ended up being the guy that was doing the scores for like the Avengers and such.
Fair.
It's like, well, there's an upgrade. But yeah, my favorite score that he did was for the Children of Dune miniseries they did on Sci-Fi Channel.
Also,
which was really good.
An observation on that thought, Rale. I don't know if it's so much that it gets weaker, it's just that it doesn't grow in power like your physical attacks do, at least for your, hard-hitting strikers.
Yeah, and same with as much as the summons.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it also does not grow as fast as the enemy's capabilities.
Yeah.
Like, the monster's HP pools and combat capabilities just kind of explosively grow, whereas your spell's capacity for violence doesn't feel like it does.
Yeah. I will note, I feel like putting the Piero card here was a little bit of a bad plan. Because it's done before you have any real access to the class system. And it just... No, we're not equipping it. The only one of those that's really great is the Necromancer one.
On the list of things that I never used until a Ginless run, that was one of them. The Piero card actually had a lot of use early on, because it gave you a couple options for spells.
That you wouldn't have normally, yeah.
Yep, some reasonably powerful damaging spells as well.
Yeah. It's overshadowed by the classes. I don't think Dark Dawn had the class change items at all.
I think it did. Give me a moment. Now I need to Google it.
Go forth, then Google. Also,
use that Google food.
Worm!
Worm! I have slain the worm. God damn it, that just reminded me of, in their tongue, what was it? He is Ul King, waifu born!
Waifu King! Waifu King!
God.
Oh my god. Brain, stop it.
What?
No, like, that's actually a joke I cannot tell on stream.
Oh no.
Moving squarely along. College
you're
locker
right.
humor.
Pistol, the big reason I won't play Shining Force on here is because I don't have great access to it. But, as a note, Shining Force, the original Shining Force games, were also made by Camelot. So if this looks like it's similar to Shining Force stuff, there's a lot of reason behind that.
Don't say.
Before I forget.
So I'm going through the animatics for the showing I'm doing tomorrow, and there's a part where it shows Aeolus, the goddess of wind, handing the bag filled with the winds of the storm to Odysseus, and it just has "bag of wind" written on it, trademark.
You're talking about AU, God of Wind?
Yeah.
So,
I am poor with Greek pronunciations.
No, No,
Open it up,
I'm making a
Dance Whacker
Moonbase
looking out
Alpha
of it.
reference.
Oh, okay.
So, Little Willie, to answer your question about Monster Rancher, the only experience I have with Monster Rancher is the anime, which I did
Same.
like as a kid.
You can get 1 and 2 on the Switch now.
Yeah.
Or like OS. Pretty good.
As much as Monster Rancher was actually a pretty good show, I was definitely a Digimon and Pokemon kid.
And I recently went back and started looking at some of the designs for Digimon, and I'm like, man, I stopped watching this as a kid just before some of the really cool shit happened.
Right?
One of the villains that showed up well after I stopped watching is this badass biker-looking dude with a pair of double-barrel sawn-offs. I'm like, that's a Digimon? Holy shit,
yeah.
this is
Oh,
awesome.
Beelzemon.
Beelzemon, yeah. And then you get fucking, what is his name? My brain keeps saying Crusadermon, but that's not him. That's a different Royal Knight.
Or Gallion.
Gallantmon, yes.
Yep.
The Gallantmon reveal is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's
Especially-
like, goddamn.
Especially because that's I think that's the first instance we get of the person actually fusing with their Digimon. And then Digimon I will argue, Digimon Frontier has probably the actual best, not most memorable. Most memorable is the original Digimon theme, but the actual best opening out of all the Digimon games or shows.
Getting a phone call. Be right back.
How dare you?
Getting called on stream? I wish I'd get called on stream. I wish I'd get called on stream by the people I'm trying to get hired by.
Man, that's a mood.
I did the interview. I got past it.
Well, you're farther than I am then. I'm waiting. End of the month, I've got mine.
Yeah. It's just, I'm trying to save money in case it takes longer than I'd like. We're just gonna go base attacks for you. You go full ham. You go full ham. Actually, I probably should just go for the summon. Oh look, the monkeys are weak to fire.
Burn, monkey, burn.
So I've got a save on my actual cartridge of the game that has been through the game I think 4 times and given every single stat up item to Felix. He can solo Poseidon.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that fucking worked. I didn't even need to use the Jin. I remember those guys being harder.
I mean... Not really?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because the last time I really fought them without having. I don't know. I don't know. Weird stuff.
I don't know about Gundramon, Brewster. All I know is that when I left off, when I stopped watching the series, it was right at the climax of the Dark Masters sequence. And Machine Dramon. When you look at Machine Dramon and Piedmon together, you're like, wait a minute. I've played this. This is Final Fantasy VI. You've got fucking Kefka and his fucking Magitech mooks.
So did you ever watch the movie as a kid?
I did.
The reveal of Omnimon is one of the most hype moments in my entire childhood.
Honestly, the part that I remember most vividly was in the original series when they went back to the real world, the whole Myotismon sequence.
Oh yeah. You mean what is it, War of Greymon and Metal Garurumon evolution?
I mean, I'm just talking about that entire plot arc.
That whole arc is great.
Fucking Wizardmon being the good guy in secret from the shadows, freaking Gatomon turning into Anjouwomon, etc., etc.
Did you
And what a woman!
And it heard you do that. Pip, you ding dong.
And then Adventure 2 happened, and Davis.
So also, I recently discovered that Myotismon, you know, the Castlevania knockoff Mon, is voiced by Bato.
I don't remember the voice actor's name. What has he done?
Richard Epcar. Bato from Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
Raiden from the more modern Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah, I recognize the voice now, yeah.
Yeah, Principal Kabayakawa, Persona 5. Like, he's in a lot of stuff. He's the Admiral in Monster Hunter World. In Ganondorf-looking dude. When Ganondorf decides he stops wanting to be evil for a little while, he bleaches his hair and goes on a monster-punching safari. I am not a Final Fantasy XIV player catcher, so I'm assuming you're talking more Richard Epcar voice work. I have no idea who that character is.
Yep, same here. The big reason I never got into Final Fantasy XIV is the requirement for a subscription, which immediately puts me off an MMO.
The reason I never got into it is because I just cannot stand MMOs, so, you know.
Have you played, Star Wars The Old Republic?
Not interested. For multiple reasons. A, it's an MMO and I don't get along with MMOs. It's not even... It's a large part of just how the gameplay of MMOs plays out.
That's fair.
I don't enjoy it. Also, Old Republic is my least favorite of the Star... Well, okay,
what the fuck?
Let me qualify
What the fuck,
this.
Aiden? Old Republic era is the peak of Star Wars.
Before Disney did the sequel trilogy,
Even
because
before
that
Disney, Old Republic was the peak of Star Wars.
No, not really. They took all the mystique out of it and made it, frankly, just uninteresting sci-fi
Revan
fantasy.
is cooler than Darth Vader. Fight me.
Not really?
Let everybody else in the world just go ahead and fucking walk.
I can't believe I thought this would be the one. God damn it! It ran. I thought like Old Republic would be the one where we would agree, Aiden. I thought that would be like the bit that brings us together. But no, you have to.
You know what?
No, because they took...
Aiden has the high ground, and you're on the little floating rock on the lava.
They took all of the cool mystique that they had set up, and they committed the grievous sin of over-explaining it. A lot of things, a lot of the time, if you are trying to sell a golden age or some kind of, you know, grand mystique or what have you, or a mysterious anything, don't then turn around and show in exacting detail the inner workings of it, because it completely undermines any attempt to try and have it be mysterious, magical, or interesting. It's part of why Forgotten Realms bothers me so much. You get the everybody's so special, which means fucking nobody is.
See, I disagree. I think Knights of the Old Republic is interesting because it feels more like an actual world, rather than this one family is the most important family of all time.
I mean, you say that, but we're also playing a JRPG, which is built on that trope. Like, you play Fire Emblem, for God's sake.
To be fair, Fire Emblem has plenty of peasants who are way stronger. Look at fucking Nino in the first Game Boy Advanced one.
I mean, sure, Nino in Blazing Blade is your token late entry to the cast junior class who has retardedly high stat growth, ridiculously powerful if you can get her to survive fighting anything at the stage of game that you get her in.
That's why you use Hector as a wall and just take equipment off of him.
I mean, every Fire Emblem that I've played has one of those characters. You get them
It's-
late game, and then yeah.
Yeah, they're called the Est archetype.
Yep.
Okay, well, you've gotten the Lash Stone.
Kinky.
Indeed. It allows you the synergy for tying things up. Oh, Mercury's not equipped to anything. We're not gonna do that. Just where? E.
Man,
So, okay, Clay Jonas. KOTOR 2, every character being force sensitive is actually important to the plot because of how that game works. It's not that they all started force sensitive, it's more that they become so through their bonds with the main character. Okay, real quick. Spoilers for KOTOR 2. Make it Storm, you're not around, right? Storm's still not around. Okay, spoilers for KOTOR 2 incoming. The main character's whole thing is force bonds, which is why I wasn't pissed off about that appearing in the sequel trilogy, because it was already established in the Old Republic games that force bonds are a thing.
So you've got a dude who can make other people force sensitive.
Essentially, yes, by bonding with them. It unites us and binds us. It even calls back to the original lore from the fucking very first movie. It binds the world together.
if you're gonna have a bad guy that can literally devour the Force, you might as well just have someone who can kind of like grant it, I guess. But
I mean, I look at both and go... I look at both and I facepalm.
See,
look,
I vehemently
Rale was the
disagree.
best part of that series.
Mind you, I'm also super big on the friendship is the best superpower, and that's literally friendship becomes the superpower.
Again, you're a Fire Emblem player, so that comes as very little surprise. What's that? My dudes individually are made of murder-tastic glory, but the moment they're friend-shaped with each other, suddenly they're like murder-cubed? Excellent.
Also, hey guys, sorry, I'm back. A work thing has come up. I'll be back in a bit.
Yep.
How dare you?
I love you all.
How dare you be employed?
Behave yourself,
don't.
chat.
You're just appearing like... Oh, wow. And there he goes to go get milk and cigarettes.
As I quote from Jurassic Park, "He left us. He left us."
So if you're not going to use the mysterious card, why not sell it?
Because I don't need the money that bad, and I like keeping everything, because I'm weird like that.
He's one of those guys that finishes the game with all of his elixirs. I'm joking.
I mean,
You think I'm kidding, but...
every time I play through the first Fire Emblem, or not Fire Emblem, goddamn, the first Golden Sun, I very pointedly fill all character inventories with Golden Sun 1 exclusive equipment.
Yep.
It'll be useless in the sequel, completely useless, but for completion's sake of having access to everything.
Yep. Guess what kind of password I used?
You know, when I was going through my, had to play every Final Fantasy game ever, I was always using strategy guides, but mostly because I just wanted to get everything I could,
I mean, when I was a kid, I was not good at RPG puzzle solving. I needed the strategy guide. I needed a strategy guide to get through Pokemon.
Oof.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, I've actually been slowly chipping away at the Pixel remasters because before they came out, I had only beaten Final Fantasies 1, 2, 6, 7, and 10.
I'd have been one of the rare people who's beaten Final Fantasy 2.
It was the Dawn of Souls release on Game Boy Advance.
I remember that release.
So,
The problem with Final Fantasy 2 is that it's very easy to accidentally gimp yourself.
it's also very easy to accidentally overpower yourself because they made weird mechanics.
Yep. Interesting mechanics. The mechanics are a great idea just hard to implement, especially with the technology when they were first implemented.
Oh yeah, and you get the position where the best way to make your characters stronger is to have one traumatized goblin watch as your party descends into anarchy and start beating the crap out of themselves. You got the guy with the fucking battle axe that's just trying to chop his own foot off so that he gets more HP at the end of the fight. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
For those who don't know, Final Fantasy II worked on your stats level up by being used, similar to Skyrim, or Oblivion, Elder Scrolls in general, but in particular, your HP would not increase unless you took damage.
And the more your HP leveled up, the more damage you'd have to take to get it to level up further. I had to look up a guide to figure out this bit, but apparently your weapon skill only levels up. Yet you only get progress towards weapon skill level up if you attack with that weapon type a certain amount of times in a fight, in a single fight, mind you.
Oh no.
Yeah, which, when you're at low level, it's only like you need to swing once or twice and you'll get some progression towards it. When you're at, the mid-teens, you need to throw hands and hit something like 12 times, 12 rounds of battle in a single battle to get any progress, which by the time you're at that point, if you've got the latest and greatest equipment, nothing survives 2 rounds in the ring. Like, you can't level up unless you basically decide to give up your, frickin' legendary blades of, superheroic goodness and your, runic axes of killing gods to death forever, and go back to basically, rusty McShit sword and a wood chopping axe. And you're just beating the ever-living shit out of an adamantine golem with a woodsman's axe, slowly breaking every limb on this golem's body like you're a fucking Dwarf Fortress character.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. There's the prime example for great idea, hard to implement correctly.
Yeah, like it's like the one Dwarf Fortress story I remember reading, where the whole premise was wrestling was really badass, but at the same time, you didn't have any armor penetration or what have you, so a legendary wrestler dwarf got charged by some kind of giant riding a war elephant. The dwarf punched the elephant out from under the giant so hard it flew into a nearby mountain and exploded into chunks, and then proceeded to pin the giant down, and because he couldn't actually do direct damage to him through his steel armor, started just submission holding the guy and breaking every bone in his limbs one at a time until the giant suffocated to death.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things.
You guys are complaining, but this sounds awesome to me.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, no, it was fucking wild. That's basically what you have to do to level up late game in Final Fantasy II.
Yeah.
Oh, so,
I just remember having to, swing your sword. You gotta hit something 20,000 times to get the next level. Oh!
I've got a question for you, because you know all about Golden Sun. If you were an adept, which would you want to be your primary and secondary elements?
That is a interesting question. I would probably go water wind.
Mine is actually wind, then fire.
Yeah, reasonable.
I had an idea for a Golden Sun 4 that involved the big development being that adepts are dual adepts now. So you get different characters that have different representation. And because, tech has gone up, you could move the tech stream along and have, the Jupiter adept has a railgun. Oh god!
Go fight rocks, become axe miner? Yes, Silicon. On the Pixel Remaster, the way I got the achievement for maxing out a weapon skill was literally giving the dude that had been using axes all game long just the basic starting woodcutting axe, and then telling him to go fuck up the last dungeon's freaking super mithril adamantine, whatever they were, golems. And then just telling everybody else to sit back and watch. It was like trying to... what was the quote that I saw describing Lance players in Monster Hunter? It's like trying to peel a potato with a toothpick. It's not very effective, but you're not really in any particular danger while you do it. It's just gonna take a while.
I mean, I disagree with that being accurate for lances, but it is definitely accurate for what you were doing.
Look, as a not Lance player, I can't actually comment.
I used lances a little bit. I'm also a sword and shield player, which is in some ways close to the lance playstyle. In the case of the shield allows you to get really, really aggressive.
Mercury Alpha knows what's up.
Yeah. Cutting down the tallest tree in the forest with a herring.
I'm not hearing a lot of Gunlance talk.
Gunlance is fun. I am a fan of Gunlance, but I will always be a Chargeblade man.
Explosion! Well, I heard a Charge Blade is pretty good in this edition.
It is, though. You
Like the
really.
Phoenix Cutter.
The thing is, you have to be able to make use of the wound mechanics, and I don't know if I ever have, because there's a certain dual blade wielding psychopath that I live with.
Is she in the room with you right now?
She just called out "hi" from the background.
Oh god. Speaking of beekeeping for profit, what are your opinions on the Akuma update? Akuma.
The what?
Did you not hear they announced the Street Fighter crossover with Monster Hunter and it's Akuma?
Oh, okay.
I am disappointed.
I have no dog in this fight because I'm not a big... Street Fighter was never my fighting game. Soul Calibur was.
I'm disappointed because every goddamn Monty Honey game has gotten a Street Fighter crossover since fucking World, at least. I think it was since Monster Hunter on the Switch, though I don't remember the name of it.
Rise?
Not Rise, the one before World.
The one before World that I can think of was Generations Ultimate, which that was on the 3DS.
Oh, it was on. Did it get re-released on the Switch? I swear one of them got re-released on the Switch.
I'm fairly confident it did.
That would explain. Mind you, I didn't start playing Monster Hunter till World.
Same. The one that actually came out on the Switch was Rise.
Yeah.
Why was that called a mini goblin?
Because he was a miniature goblin.
Except that he was
Isn't that a gremlin?
fun.
And two, that thing was bigger than the other thing. It was pretty hefty.
That's because the other thing was a worm.
Also, I don't know. I've always seen gremlins as being something different to goblins.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Gremlin movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Though, here's a bit of a thing. I first saw the Gremlin movies this year.
Oh,
Dear
wow.
God.
Yeah.
To be fair, I haven't actually watched all the way through the Gremlin movies ever.
So when I think Gremlins, I instead think Looney Tunes. The old World War II episode that was Gremlins from the Kremlin.
Well, that was kind of the big, they tore apart machinery and people would be like, it's a gremlin.
Yeah, they were the explanation for mechanical failures and glitches and shit.
Yeah.
Kind of like anti-gnomes.
Anti-gnomes. Yes.
Am I wrong?
I'm gonna have to remember that phrase, anti-gnome. Instead of calling them gremlins now, I'm just gonna call them anti-gnomes.
I mean, gnomes, goblins, elves, fairies, pixies, leprechauns, all the wee folk and the fae folk, they're kind of the same thing, it's just different names. Some are ugly and some of them are not ugly, you know?
Also, I love this plateau. The Nintendo Power issue that had the guide for this plateau is what convinced me to buy this game whenever I was a kid.
And you have your first artifact weapon.
The Themis Axe. Stone Justice!
As opposed to stoned justice.
Ah.
You're under arrest, guy.
It doesn't explain it in this game, but it is neat that we know the lore for why monsters, like, appear in this world.
Oh?
Yeah, it's mentioned in the first game. They're affected by synergy. They're normal animals that have been infused with synergy, and it causes them to turn into monsters.
Yep. And of course, because the entirety of the natural order of the world is all kinds of out of whack, you're getting a very broad assortment of general fuckery in the form of pissed off flora and fauna.
Yeah, especially after Mount Aleph exploded and launched a bunch of synergy stones all across the world.
Yeah, but, well, no, I'm saying that after that, because you've got half of the lighthouses lit, shit's getting freaking woken up from, eons of slumber, and it's like, wow, world's different.
Yep.
Fuck this Earth.
Oh, can humans become monsters?
I mean,
yes, but I think it takes a lot.
Monsters?
I think it takes a lot more synergy. I think something about consciousness. Synergy reacts weird with consciousness. Look at what the trees did.
I mean, I'm just gonna make the observation of look at the Scalies. I mean, the Fire Clan of Prox.
Ah, well played. Well played.
I mean, I'm not even actually joking all that much. They have developed reptilian draconic features.
Because they're one of the clans that still had access to it.
Yep. And of course, Satiros and Minardi fused to become a fuck-off huge dragon.
Indeed. Dragon Tales, it's almost time.
Why? Why?
Got so hungry, I ate my friends!
Because it got into my head, so now I have to share it with the rest of you.
Mr. Janice, Miss Janice, I don't know, whatever it is. Clail Janice, yeah, humans are the ones responsible because it was, humans raiding the Soul Sanctum that caused the volcano to explode, throwing the magical, brain uranium all over the world.
You can just call it Brainium.
Uranium. Or maybe Uranium?
Though,
there
to
you
be
go.
fair, as we discover in this game, there are still natural places of synergy. It's just the lighthouses have most of it sealed away, and are straight up fucking wackadoo levels.
I mean, sure, but you also have the natural places that are strong with the Psi are generally occupied by frickin' big ass Psi rocks in the heart of them. The 4 elemental rocks come to mind.
Yes.
I'm just glad that they made a fantasy game where a lot of the world elemental and tectonic powers are sealed away in giant crystals of elemental power, fucking with
God.
the cause world. That's just such an original idea,
I feel like it's handled well in this. It's not it's just happens to
I'm
be
joking,
a
by
source.
the way.
Yes, I'm aware you're joking.
I'm being smarmy.
Yes,
I
I'm
mean,
aware.
I'm gonna make the observation that was made a couple times now on Lady Red's Friday, writing ramblings stream, which is tropes are not necessarily a bad thing.
Tropes are great.
And every story has already been told. It's just that how you tell it and the flavor you add to it is what makes it unique.
Presentation is everything.
Well, also, you know, a youngin might, you know, someone younger might come up and they might read this particular rendition of that trope and they'll like it, you know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Rale, there's an anime I want to watch called Let Me Please Just Retire.
Oh God.
Let
It's
me
about the guy-
please
he's like-
retire.
Yeah, he's like it's the opposite of like your best friends betrayed you in the party. It's like he wants to leave the party, but everybody loves him so much because like he of his 5 friends, everybody chose a stat to like max out. He maxed out the luck stack so that he literally fails upward and he can't stop.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about that one. That, like, he thinks he's useless. Isn't that the one where, like, he's also got massive management skills, so they keep him around because he keeps the show running, despite not being the best combat-wise?
Yeah. Like, I love stories like that, like, King from One Punch Man, or Tetsu Angel. It's like, it's a big misunderstanding. It's like, oh, he's the greatest warrior that ever lived. Oh, we're so scared. He's like, I just want to go home.
Caiaphas motherfucking Kane much?
Yeah. I mean,
The thing with Caiaphas Kane is, like, he technically is competent because he can fight off 2 fucking hive tyrants at the same time. I don't care how much of a imposter syndrome you have.
yeah. And my biggest thing is with tropes is when you're using them, regardless of how overused the trope might be, you need it to be obvious that you're having fun with it. You don't even need to be doing something interesting with it, as long as you're having fun with it. Like, I know this trope is dumb, but we're gonna revel in that shit.
I mean, there's something to be said about taking an overused trope and then proceeding to flog it into the ground for fun.
Yeah.
Like, but it's where you've got that sincerity that you're working with. It's when it's very cynical of, yeah, we know this trope is tired, and we're going to disassemble it because, hey, look how clever we are. No, that's weak. That's lame shit.
Cynicism is the death of media.
I mean,
Really, the death of enjoyment in general.
You get something more like, I don't know, fucking Cabin in the Woods comes to mind, which was both
Cabin in the Woods
playing.
is great.
It was both playing the horror movie, you know, the monster movie, horror movie genre straight, and at the same time laughing their fucking asses off at it collectively. That rat man wanted none of your shit.
He's like, I choose life, thank you very much.
I just want spork stones.
No thanks, I want to live. Pretty sure if you
10,000
wanted,
years, I'm free. Thank God.
pretty sure if I remember right, skeletons are weak to Earth, meaning Echo would get you bonus monies.
Oh. Yeah, but
If
that
I'm
would require me
remembering
to
right.
put more thought than spam A into that fight.
You're not wrong. And honestly, again, unless you're doing some kind of self-imposed challenge, the leveling and power curve of this game is such that you very seldom need to actually do anything other than just, you know, spam a button.
And there's some
When you
fights
get-
that'll be like, oh god, I need to actually prep for this. Cough, cough, Poseidon!
I have
Built that Charizard, by the way.
I have a question for you, actually.
Yes?
Are you planning on doing Briggs before you do Ayers Rock? Like,
Probably
which are you
not.
gonna?
I'm probably gonna do Ayers Rock first.
Okay.
Mostly because, yeah, you were just reminding me of how much of a pain in the ass the Briggs fight is if you go there first.
It can be, It can be, as long as you're like, you know, omnicidal and fucking murder everything along the way. I don't really feel it's a problem.
Wait, you don't murder just everything in your path?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is because I do, I generally don't find the Briggs fight to be especially problematic. Sometimes he'll cheap out and fucking murder one of my characters, and I'm like, oh, damn it. He does take a little bit more oomph to deal with than just the spam A to win, though, which I enjoy. I didn't even know you could, frickin' skip him and go to Erzrock the first handful of times I played through the game.
Yeah. Oh god, the first time I played the game, again, I was real little, and just did not understand how RPGs work, so he walled me for a little bit. So then I went outside and grinded for a while. Then he came back way over-leveled and shoved his face into the dirt. I will explain the class system for this game eventually, but that's when we have the option to actually fiddle with it a bit.
So you already have the startings of the class I put Jenna into. I usually make her a Lumineer, which is the upgrade of Swordsman. You just make her full water-oriented.
Actually, this is the one I usually do. Oop.
Yeah, fair. Having access to impact this early on makes a fair difference.
Not that I'll really be using it much yet, but when I hit a boss fight, yes.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna get at, talking about the Briggs fight. Frickin' throwing attack buffs on Felix and then watching him just start playing Will It Blend with the man's face.
Oh, you ever run Briggs out of whistles?
I didn't know you could do that.
Pretty sure he only has a certain number of them.
I will have to Google this.
Please Google it, because I swear I've run him out of whistles before. That or I just got lucky and he stopped using it entirely after so many of them died. Okay, we don't actually need to backtrack on this. So down we go. We've crossed the plateau. Did my chat freeze or is chat just quiet?
I believe they're just quiet.
Yes, they're just quiet.
La 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 la.
Huh. Apparently he only has 3 signal whistles.
Huh. And there we go.
I've never let him live long enough to get through all of them.
I usually target the minions first, mostly because they'll heal him.
I mean, he also has a herb and a nut. So he can heal himself.
Did he use his first nut on Eolio?
That's his son.
To create Eolio! To create Eolio!
Yeah, the way you phrased it didn't make it sound like that. You were saying used his nut on his son. I was like, no!
On the task of creating his son. That was the implication I was going for. Wow.
Oh, that's not the implication that your phrasing said.
I have to say, telekinesis is probably one of my favorite powers.
I like the many ways it is incarnated in this. And is why I still feel that Isaac and Felix would make excellent fighters in Smash Bros. Rather than just being a fucking assist trophy.
So much. I'm still mad about it.
No, Mercury Alpha. No. We're cool. We cool.
Yeah.
Heard the Goblin belly button link sells high on the market.
Okay, I take it back. Now we're definitely canceled. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh, hello. Isn't that an element?
Yeah, Iron shows up very easily in this one. You don't have to do a lot of searching for him.
How ironic. Knife down. Put it down!
While the pilot screams in German. Oh, yeah. Ah, the little bastard ran away.
Yeah.
If only you had, like, I don't know, a ball of some sort. Hell is this, a troll?
Yes, that's a troll.
That's a proper troll. Now, does he have regeneration, or...
Yes.
So now...
I don't know if the base trolls do, actually. I know that the more advanced versions definitely have HP regen.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where folklore that trolls had, like, regeneration. Because, like... The only thing I know about trolls is, like, some of them, like, to turn to stone. But other than that... They had their own magic called, Trollgy or Trology? Something like that, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
All I know about them is they're big, they're ugly, and they're assholes.
Indeed.
Right you are, Ken.
I think Scandinavian trolls were probably more akin to what we think ogres are. I mean, they're probably the same thing, to be honest.
There we go.
Just the name.
Hey, plasma.
Yep. So now she's got both water and wind. And impact.
And reasonable quality of both water and wind, because Prism is one of the stronger water element spells that you can have.
Okay, so quick explanation for the class system, since we can now do it. The class system works on how you set these Jinn, which are little elemental spirits. You've got earth, fire, water, wind. If you set multiple of the same element as the caster, so Felix is Earth's type, then they can go up in their class. So in this case, when I set 2 Earth Jinn, Felix goes from a Squire to a Knight, which doesn't give him any new synergy, but does give him pretty decent stat increases. Set. Meanwhile, we've got this one. Sheba will get stat increases, because all Jinn also give a set stat increase based off of the particular Jinn. She will lose Whirlwind and Ray, but she will gain Prism and Impact, and Plasma she has across both classes. And she'll change classes from the Windseer line to the Hermit line. Classes all work in a line where you have a particular low-level class, such as Squire, and then the upgrade to Squire is Knight. I believe Hermit, whenever it finalizes, will end up being Wizard. And then
there's a couple different knockoffs of Hermit, depending on who it is and exactly what mix of Jinn you're doing.
And then there's also multi-Jinn. So you have single element classes, dual element classes, and triple element classes. Though I don't think Pilgrim is actually a triple element class. Usually it requires more Jinn than that.
Yeah, you don't really get triple element classes until you've got a handful more Jinn than you currently have.
Yeah. And triple element classes range from being the strongest classes in the game to being some of the weakest classes in the game. Rip Ranger. Friggin' Ninja is absolutely busted, though. Dual element is my preference for classes in these games. They're a nice mix of giving you a lot of different kinds of synergy and decent stat ups.
another thing that needs to be noticed is that if you equip a Jin, sometimes you'll see a bunch of stats go down. Because, for example, if Felix has, like, 5 Earth Jin, and is thus I think the upgrade of Knight is a Gallant, or Gallant, however you want to fucking pronounce it.
Something
And
like
then you
that.
give him a single Fire Jin, he's going to lose a fuckload of stats, because he's going to go from being, like, the souped-up version of the straight Earth class, to being the baby tier basic bitch version of the, dual element fire class.
Yeah. Essentially, Jin trump their base element, and their Jin of another element will trump the Jin of their same base element.
The final form is class dropout.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get some really, really powerful combos, like the aforementioned Ninja, which upgrades to Disciple. Samurai, which upgrades to Ronin. The Swordsman will cap out as either a Dragoon or a Lumineer, which are both particularly gnarly.
Yep. Ugh.
I think, the dual wind water that Mia gets, I think, caps out as Angel?
Yeah, the white mage, if you get the setup right, is absolutely busted.
Yep.
Context, white mage will give the strongest offensive spells, the wide range healing that's the most efficient, and the revive spell.
Yep.
They're absolutely crazy.
And they will still almost universally be relegated to casting group heal every turn during a boss fight.
Yep. Usually it's, the wind one goes to wizard and casts buff spells. Specifically impact.
Yeah, that is admittedly one thing that I do feel is to the detriment of this series, is that when you get to a certain point, boss fights become one character casts heal every turn. That is all they do, because if they don't do that, then you will not win.
I don't think they need to cast it every turn. Some boss fights, yes, but
I'm thinking a lot of the later tier ones where basically you don't know which character they're going to slap, but they're going to hit somebody with something that hurts like a freight train. And the only way to guarantee that you're going to be properly ready for it is to just, heal everybody every turn.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the late game bosses or the optional super bosses. You don't need a new weapon for Jenna because you're about to find one. This is one of those games that I have played enough that I know by recollection where goddamn everything is just about.
yeah. Elixir is one of the few things I'll sell because who the hell uses elixirs?
Yep, pretty much. Oh look, my dude's diluted. Well, cool, they're just gonna cast magic because that shit don't miss.
You get diluted? Pfft, nerd. I think Briggs is the only time that's ever actually a threat.
Yeah, and that's only because you're still early enough in the game that if he hits you with it, at least one of your characters gets kind of shut down.
Yeah.
Except not really, because if he does it to Felix, Felix just starts spamming and abusing his Jin.
I mean, at that point, also, Felix should already have... Actually, would he have Ragnarok by then?
If you're doing him pre-Ares Rock, not necessarily.
Good point. Context, for those who don't know, Ragnarok is one of the spells in the game... Oh, I can't afford that. How dare.
It's a spell that targets it's learned by Felix in his Pure Earth aligned class. And what it does is it targets a single dude and does tremendous violence upon them using the earth element.
What it does is it scales. Rather than working, most things have like a set damage thing that they work off of. Ragnarok and a couple other spells scale off of a multiplier of their either an addition or multiplier to the character's attack stat. Felix has one of the highest attack stats in the game, so having him use Ragnarok means it's his attack plus this, an earth element, and it's a synergy so it won't miss.
It is very... Go on, sorry. Keep going.
It also summons and throws a giant fuck off sword at someone.
Which is really cool.
Swords as projectiles.
That said, one thing that I will comment is it gets outpaced by some of the later weapons you find anyway.
Specifically Excalibur.
Excalibur just wins out against goddamn everything. If you get the lucky roll to do triple damage.
And that's the thing, is the triple damage roll is super common.
Yeah.
It's already really high damage with its... So, context for those who don't know. Artifact weapons have unleashes. You saw earlier Themis' axe unleashes Stone Justice. They usually do increased damage or have a special effect. For instance, the Merc Rod here, I believe will put enemies to sleep.
Negative. What they do is the Merc will do extra damage. I think it's wind element, because unleashes are generally tied to an element, which means if you put it on a character with that element as their, primary, it will be stronger. The thing Merc does is it deludes enemies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Dreamtide, which is I think the next one we'll get here in a moment.
Yep, the pirate sword, which you're gonna find very soon. Yes.
Yep.
But the thing about Excalibur is it is wind element, does a buttload of damage with its unleash, but its unleash has a chance to do double or triple the damage. And if it does triple damage, then it is the single strongest weapon attack you can get in the game.
Yep.
It's just not reliably the single strongest weapon attack.
If you have the right gear, it's reliable enough.
True, but then you get the Soul Blade, which is the same amount of damage as one of the upper tier summons, and with the right equipment, you can have that special attack happen every turn.
Yeah.
Very literally every turn. 100% unleash rate, scales off of Earth Elemental, and is only usable by your Earth Elemental dudes.
The problem...
Does four digits of damage. There's a lootable upstairs that you can get. I think it's a smoke bomb.
Did I...
Sleep bomb. Okay.
But
I've played this way too many fucking times.
I know the feel. Most of the time, I don't really bother with as many of the things in the boxes because usually they're not as useful.
Oh no, they're not useful in the slightest. You can sell them.
Yep. But no, Megiddo, the Soul Blade and its Unleash Megiddo run into the problem that the final boss of this game is resistant to Earth.
It doesn't stop it from doing 4 digits of damage anyway, though.
Oh yeah,
it's just that goddamn powerful.
The thing is, they're also weak to wind, which Excalibur is. So properly expect Excalibur will absolutely style on the final boss even more than Soul Blade does.
Again, though, Soul Blade will do every turn 1,000 damage. Excalibur will do like every other turn a little over 1,000 damage, like 1,200 or so.
I find it to be more reliable than that, honestly. Once you get past a certain stat point, it becomes... I think which version it gets is dependent on luck. And to be fair, again, a lot of my experiences, I have a playthrough that's been through the game 4 times.
I return.
Storm's back. Oh no.
God help us.
He is the storm that is approaching.
Yeah.
So the thing to keep in mind about Excalibur is it's not luck-based, it's just a flat 60% chance that you'll get triple damage. Which is still really favorable. The thing is, and here's the fun part, ¿por qué no los dos? Why give Felix the Excalibur when he can have a Soul Blade and you can throw Excalibur into the hands of Isaac, and then the two can just dunk on goddamn everything.
I usually give Isaac the Soul Blade and Felix Excalibur.
Yeah, fair enough. One for one for the other. Make whoever has the Excalibur a ninja so that they have a really high attack and a lot of wind mojo going for them. And you just built a dude purpose-built to absolutely fucking hate goddamn everything.
Indeed.
Though, if I'm not mistaken... Let me take a look real quick. Oh, I was wrong. I got it mixed up. The Dullahan has the lowest resistance to wind. I thought I got his wind and water resistance reversed.
So yeah, even against Dullahan, Excalibur, motherfucker. The problem is getting Excalibur in the first place.
It's a 5% drop from a very rare crafting material that you can technically farm for, but unless you're willing to cheese the RNG, it's a bitch to do. So odds are you're gonna only get, like, unless you're really patient, you're only gonna get one.
The RNG is not hard, but to show real quick, we're gonna save here too.
Oh, it's double RNG because it's the RNG to get the enemies that only spawn in the optional super dungeon to drop, and then the RNG to 5% craft chance, which is going to be also obnoxious.
So, Aiden, guess what I was in the middle of doing on my other save?
I'm gonna hazard a guess and say
Look at this.
farming for Excaliburs.
Yes. What it is you have to save scum. For those who don't know, you have to save scum of saving outside the forge, getting it forged, finding out if you got it, and then if you didn't, reload your save.
Yep.
And it's long and tedious because you have to leave town while he forges it and then come back into town.
Or visit the inn for the night. One of the two. And unless you are playing in a way that gives you a fast-forward function, it's just time-consuming and tedious.
It's time-consuming and tedious. It is something that if I do for this save, I will be doing off-stream.
Very much so. Very much so. That's actually a different challenge I'd like to try at some point. A zero artifact challenge. I suspect it will be easier than a no Jin challenge, though, because you still can summon bomb the fuck out of things.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know about you, I've never gone out of my way to learn the Dullahan's fight pattern well enough to fight him the old-fashioned way. I've always just turned off all Jin and summon bombed the religious fuck out of the dude, so that the whole objective is he dies before I do. Like, first party dumps their load, gets murdered, second party proceeds to dump every summon they have under the sun.
That's why you load the second party with Iris. Oh wait, we won't have Iris yet. Don't mind me, I'm
Correct. Correct. I'm like, wait a minute, homie.
Don't mind me, I'm dumb. Iris is what you get for beating Dullahan.
Yeah, and by the time you get Iris, there's no point in having it, because if you can beat the Dullahan, then you can kill literally anything without needing the Turbo Party heal. He is the single hardest fight in the game.
Yeah.
Harder than the Doom Dragon, by far.
Yeah, no, he is honestly one of the hardest fights in all of JRPGs.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, he's still a threat that you have to be prepped for, even at max level.
Oh yeah, he's still very much a stern challenge. He is a very much optional super boss.
Yeah.
And he lives up to that role.
Much better than Deadbeard, who's just a HP wall.
Yeah, very much so. I'm just sat here thinking FF5 Omega comes to mind.
Oh yeah, there's definitely ones that are harder than him, especially in like Final Fantasy stuff, but overall, I can't think of any... I can't think of enough super bosses in JRPGs to pull him out of the top 10.
And admittedly, I'm also going based off of, if you're going to make that, I also would encourage you to consider the context of not all optional super bosses should warrant being in the top 10, not because they aren't a very hard challenge, but because some of them are just patently designed to be cheap and unfair. I'm going to pull out a game that I haven't actually ranted about much before. Mostly because I keep trying to blot it from my memory.
Which
Lost Odyssey.
Oh.
Lost Odyssey was a JRPG that came out on the Xbox 360, and when I first picked up the game, it looked like it was going to be rad as fuck, because the opening sequence is the War of the Silly Hats, and it's fucking cool.
The War of the Silly Hats?
I will find the opening sequence for you so that you can see what I'm talking about.
I'm remembering back to that, and actually that's a good way to describe it.
Oh yeah, because you've got the dogmen from the one side with their big black armor, broad blades, and the hats that look like the fucking Tower of Saruman.
Oh, by the way, the world. The first two games take place on, or the first game takes place on this continent, and this part of this continent, this northern part.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we can't actually get to that. I do hope if they do a remake that they let us go back and like explore all this stuff again with the full party.
You can glitch your way back to Angara.
It's not even really a glitch, but yes, you can get to there, but nothing happens there. Like, you can't really do anything with any of the towns or anything.
And I don't think any of the towns are visually there except for Mount Aleph.
Yeah, which you can't do anything with.
Noob skills. Yes, it is an item. I'm just here to provide hot takes and spicy opinions to make Rale upset at me.
This is fair.
I learned a long time ago that you and me are just gonna patently disagree on some things.
Oh, very much so. Anywho, Lost Odyssey, what I was trying to get at... Oh god, where was I going with that line of thinking? Oh, optional super bosses, got it. Bringing the train back on the tracks.
No, I've derailed it.
Rale has derailed... My god.
Have you never realized that?
No, not really. Anywho, so the thought process being that there's a really shitty DLC that adds an optional super boss, and like with the optional super boss that's in the base game, that's at the end of the arena sort of side thing. Are you going to Mikasala first?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go the long way around.
Without Scoop, you can't get the Djinn at Mikasala. And
Yep, you're right. I need to go desert round first. Okay, now I remember.
Yep. So the thing about these optional super bosses is they have a bullshit amount of HP, and basically if you aren't at endgame using the most broken-ass spell combo that lets you do damage cap every turn, then you're basically screwing yourself. And it's one of those situations where periodically during the fight they do a party wipe. Like, they just decide, no, fuck your party, and do a full party wipe. And unless you have the specific cheese tactic that lets you survive a party wipe through like fucking auto-res bullshit, then you cannot win the fight. You have to use a very specific cheese strat to survive. And I look at that, I'm like, wow, that's really fucking lame.
Yeah, super bosses that test your cheese strats are no fun. I like super bosses that test your control over the mechanics. And I feel like Dolhound's excellent at that, because he quite literally screws up the spam mechanic that most people will use for the rest of the game.
Yes. Fully agree. Momongas, if I'm not mistaken, are weak to lightning.
We'll find out. Yes, they are.
which means once you get Blitz, you can milk them for extra resources.
That sounds like a lot of effort. I do not intend to screw around with trying to manipulate the RNG on this one.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we're talking about, like, max damage potential and Excalibur and all this other shit. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Really,
Which I love about this game. You can get through, other than, like, the Dullahan fights, like, the secret boss fights are a little bit harder, but you can get through both these games just equipping people with their same element Jin. Like, all the base classes are actually viable. But you
Not
can
just
do,
viable, they're really effective.
Yeah, but you can do straight up wackadoo shit if you understand the system. It's like a prime example of a system that's, what is it? Simple to learn, but there's a lot of depth.
Agreed. And as far as the stuff you find in-game, the game gives you plenty of tools, you know, arms and equipment and armor, to do some really solid stuff. You can fight your way through literally every boss in the game, optional or not, without too much difficulty by just, you know, looting dungeons thoroughly without having to play the RNG game. Yeah, a lot of the best equipment is locked behind RNG shit.
I'd say it's usually not even the best. Usually it's comparative to the best. Like, there's some of the best equipment that is locked behind that, but some of the other best equipment is just, like, you get one from loot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm thinking stuff like the Excalibur,
Yeah.
the Riot gloves, if I recall correctly. They're a monster drop, but very much a RNG thing that gives you some really good boosts. Not that one. Go for the one on the left, if I'm remembering right, because you're trying to get the Jin as well, yeah?
Yeah. I keep forgetting I have Pound already because I'm mixing it up with Scoop in my head. Also, no. Oh, wait, no, that was Dreamtide. Never mind. I'm dumb. Don't mind me. No?
Oh, wait, no,
Merc does not
no.
to sleep. Both of them do, I guess.
I was wrong.
And now we know. And knowing's half the battle.
And the other half is extraordinary violence.
The other half is killing someone and watching the light slowly drain from their eyes.
I mean, those are emu. They have it coming. Just ask the Australians.
Yeah, indeed.
If there is emu, is there screamoo?
No, that's just the music the emu listens to.
Screamoo is the noise that Squick makes when you ooh-woo something you shouldn't.
Do not ooh-woo the Grundle monster!
Oh my god.
It is quick.
It is.
We're level 9. A single
one?
antidote. What's this one? Oh. What were you asking, Ivan?
I'm mumbling to myself as I look down the list of weapons to try and figure out which one I was thinking of. Yeah, no, Delusion is significantly higher tier weapons. The more
Probably
you know.
to balance out the fact that they're just stronger weapons in general, so they have a less powerful unleash.
Oh, I'm saying it's a less powerful status ailment, not necessarily that it's a less powerful unleash.
Oh wait, we have Echo. Double strike.
Yes. Violence! And yes, Bully Snake, not to have, ignored you this whole time. Low skill floor, high skill ceiling is a very good way to describe the class mechanics of Golden Sun.
Really just the whole mechanics of Golden Sun in general.
Oh yeah, it is pupper lunchtime, isn't it?
Lunch the puppers.
I will return momentarily. I'm gonna let the doggos out to do their piddle business.
Indeed.
Their puppy
Sensible.
crimes, ideally outside the house.
In the yard. Maybe in the yard of the neighbor that you don't like. We're not going to play with it too much right now. I do need to heal, though. So I believe now, at the moment, I'm all alone, unless Andy's just been very quiet this whole time.
I'm here
Oh,
too.
Storm is back.
I'm also quiet because I'm kind of brain dead.
I mean, V and Aiden have both played a fuck ton of this game and are talking deep mechanical lore, so...
It's understandable. I'm here for moral support. or immoral support, whichever.
Storm, you don't strike me as someone who would do something immoral.
9 times out of 10.
Bully Snake, that is what I expect a lot of people do with my streams, is that it's like a background noise stream. Which I'm perfectly fine with.
Yes.
Like, I've already got your view count. The attention is just a nice bonus. Figuring out this desert the first time as a kid was also a nightmare. A lot of the initial parts of this game are kind of rough if you don't understand how it works. Also, the fact that this game does not have... If you select attack on a specific enemy and that enemy dies, you do not default to the next enemy in line. You go straight to defend. Luckily, the third game actually fixes that, which I think was a plus. The third game has a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Quality of life changes that I appreciate the hell out of. This little bastard right here.
Dark Dawn had a bunch of quality of life changes, and I did like them. Which is part of why I'm so vocal about my disappointment with the game, is they did so much good that the stuff that they fucked away just makes me sad.
I understand. I didn't love Dark Dawn at first, and then I replayed it, and the replay helped immensely. So if you haven't gone back and replayed it, I do suggest doing so at some point.
I've been meaning to. I just don't have access to it at this time.
Yeah.
When I played through it the first time, it's when my little sister and I were still living together, and as such, she owns the game. I did not.
So, Aiden, how long did it take you to figure out how to get through this desert the first time you played it?
I honestly don't remember. I know I goofed up the final phase at least the once, but I don't think it took me that long. The one that really screwed me up was figuring out the log rolling puzzle in Kolima Forest in the first game.
Really?
Yes.
He's a big angry scorpion boy.
I'm pretty sure he's Earth Element, but let's find out.
He's a big scorpion boy that turned his claws into Scoopy Scoops.
So mean.
He is resistant to wind. Normal from that. He's weak to fire. Okay, now we know what we're using.
You kill it with fire!
Actually, wait. Boost for... Yeah, he does a lot of attacks like that. We're not going to bother with hers. Instead... Yeah.
Scrumble hates Scorpion. Indeed, Bully Snake.
Alright. Oh shit, I forgot we have Zaga.
You have Carl Zagan.
So this is a neat thing. Zagon is one of the first dual element summons. In fact, I think he's the first one you get.
He is.
And I
also ignoring the pun, I see.
You don't pun me on my own streams. I am the punmancer here. Why are fish
You're the
easy?
one who You're the one who says puns welcome, asshole. How dare you?
Why are fish easy to weigh? Because they have their own scales. Anywho, the summons in this game are so fucking
standard
cool.
using motherfucker.
Let's look at him. Wow.
Bonk.
Big axe guy.
Stream has assisted with cleaning kitchen and washing dishes. This is good.
Yes.
Yep.
Please, please use your stream to help you get shit done in your life. This makes the Rale happy. We're gonna heal her. Got any other? Might as well, actually. And you now.
Pupper lunch has been administrated.
They are well fed and puppish.
They are well fed, though they would have you believe otherwise.
This is the way of doggo.
Yes. And I swear Anka thinks she's part cat.
Oh, hey, we have Atlanta.
Nice.
Behold.
The entire city of Atlanta.
Lost city of Atlanta?
No, Storm, we're just lost in the city of Atlanta. Hello, Anka.
I straight up won't drive in Atlanta anymore. Ever again. Never again. That
Hello,
city is
little girl.
cursed.
I am being accosted with affection. Hello. Your breath stinks of kibble.
Kibbly
Oh,
bibbly.
she is watching Lady Red. Because Lady Red is attempting a lunch, and thus the doggos are going to try and make the pitch that they have never been fed a day in their lives, despite having just been fed by Lady Red.
Well, the pet has been redeemed. I have
And
a
the
cat
pet
by my
has been
feet.
administered.
The cat needs to scooch because he's trying to nap near the power strip. And I don't want him to turn off my computer midstream. I'm sorry, boy, but you can't nap there. I keep scooching
Yeah.
away.
Anka did that to Lady Red while she was mid art project.
Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. You are
She was working on one of the posters for WBPLW when her computer just went. Well, we were trying to figure out what the fuck happened, and yeah, no, Anka stepped on the button on the power strip.
Oh no.
Yeah, this little girl has grippy paws, by the way. I was playing tuggy with her with a rope toy, and when I would hold it up for her to come up and try and snatch, she would reach out and grab hold of it with her paws like little hands, and then grab hold of it in her teeth.
How devious.
It's very adorable.
Also, context.
I'd never seen dogs do that before. I was always thought of that as a cat behavior.
Context for those who might not know. So the reason to use Jin and Summon. So Jin have special effects that are usually specific to them. Some of the best defensive abilities, in fact the best defensive abilities in the game, are tied to Jin. But more importantly, Summons scale with an enemy's maximum HP. So they're always viable, and they're actually more viable against bosses than they are against normal enemies.
The other thing is they boost temporarily the user's elemental power for a given element, which makes all of their attacks using that element stronger for at least a time.
Yeah. I think it lasts for the whole battle, but it resets at the end of each battle.
It doesn't last for the whole battle, I don't think, because occasionally you'll get the, you know, such and such's elemental strength has returned to normal, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think I've ever gotten that, but that also might be like me. Oh, there it goes. That might be me spamming so many summons that it never resets the timer.
Yeah, there's that, because every time you have somebody else, every time you have that character use another summon that boosts that element, the timer resets. And then the other thing to keep in mind about it is that, yeah, if you kill the enemy before that point, then you never see that.
Rise.
Your shit's not gonna reset if you just utterly myrtleize the crap out of the bad man before the reset timer counts down. It's like playing in a Final Fantasy game. It's like, oh, they just used Doom on one of my guys. I've got 30 seconds to live. Joke's on you. This fight's gonna be over in 10.
It's cute. You think I need 30 seconds.
Oh my nation dead.
It is at this point that
Also,
we play
title of your
Will It
porn
Blend?
You didn't hear that, did you?
I did, I'm just trying to process.
It's cute. You think I need 30 seconds as the title.
I thought that was because Storm spoke up when he did. I thought that was in response to the Omae Wamo Shindaru comment. I'm like, that is a fucking wild-ass porn tape you're making there, homie. Holy shit.
I didn't even think about that. Nope. Did not mean to hit that button.
Alright, well, you now could go to Mikasala and get the things, but
We'll
you'll
get
still want to go
Mikasala on
through...
the way back.
Yeah.
We're gonna go
You still
want to
go through here, because you're going to get the blow mace for Shiva.
I thought you didn't like Shiva, yet you want her to wield the blow mace?
Yeah, because it makes her less useless. I want her to get the best weapons she
I'd
can.
let your mind
so that she
slip
can
into the
meaningfully-
gutter for a little bit on the term blow mace.
I mean, yes, every fucking time.
I think you should ask Maze for his permission on that one first. I only tell that joke because Maze would laugh and then scream and run away.
All I'm gonna say is, you're giving the hooker the blow mace. Hookers and blow.
That's cool.
That is one thing. I do wish levels felt more impactful in this game, or in this series.
What, leveling up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they're unlocking a new spell, it really doesn't feel that significant.
That would be interesting if they had, like, you have your class spells and then they also have their own skill tree. So that they can, so that regardless of what class they're in, they'll always have some capability. And, like, you have skill points for the skill tree separate from the class, like a Dragon Quest skill tree.
At that point, you're starting to overcomplicate the system, though.
That is
part of why.
fair.
Part of why this one works is because bottom right of this screen. Yep, that one.
Money!
Again, I've played this too many times.
Yeah, no, we both have. I don't remember all the loot spots, but I like game knowledge-wise.
I will admit, I don't know all of the loot spots because a bunch of the rusted equipment you find in the world map on the in the boat, I don't remember the specifics of where you find them.
No! Son of a potato. There we go.
Yeah, Ketra, this is a game I periodically come back to, just because.
This and Paper Mario.
Felix used a hard nut. So, admittedly, I have to play this by means other than my old GBA, purely on the basis of my carts. My copy of The Lost Age no longer saves.
Oh, that's terrible.
You can save the game, and then your file will not be there after you cycle the power.
I hate that.
Same. So yeah, stuff like playing it on Switch, like what you're doing, is what I gotta do.
Yeah. I have my cart and it still saves. My problem is my Game Boy Advance SP that I have is what's the word I'm looking for? The L&R don't work, which makes this game way more tedious.
Yeah. So Ketra, I did, and no, it didn't work. I'm pretty sure, especially since, actually no, I take it back. I opened it up, there isn't a battery in Golden Sun. It uses flash memory, and it's just flashed too many times. It's fried.
Yeah. At some point I should figure out how to actually pull the save file off of my Game Boy Advance cartridge so I can move it somewhere where it's immortal.
Yep. Heartbreak, agreed. And yeah, no, that'd be great. Which brings me to mind something I saw recently. Some intrepid spirit tried to figure out what happens when you put a Pokemon Red save on a Pokemon Blue cartridge.
Oh no.
It becomes the quest of missing no, because the entire world becomes scrombulated.
Okay, so, as much as I want to continue playing and chatting, it is actually time to end the stream.
Oof.
I try to end with plenty of time for BB to play, or anybody else who's right after me.
Yes.
Yeah, because admittedly I also need to get up. I need to pack the Jeep so that we can actually go and meet some folks.
Yep.
There's a group of us that are going to be gathering over the weekend.
Yay.
Nice. I better see pictures of puppers.
I'm sure there will be pictures of puppers.
There are always pictures of puppers. Anywho,
Indeed.
everybody, as always, stay safe and take care of yourselves. Do you lads have anything to say before we go?
Be good to each other, don't explode.
You know, I can
And-
second that sentiment.
Drink water. It's hot out there.
Hail Hydrate!
Hail hydrates.
For each drink that falls, 2 more shall take its place.
Alright, with that then.
Turkey bacon is the best bacon!
No, it is not!
It is not, Storm. We tested that at the meetup. You know it's wrong. Turkey bacon is the best bacon that you're allowed. How about that? Anywho.
This is the best bacon.
No,
Just
none of that.
because you have done yourself harm by preventing bacon from entering your system doesn't mean the rest of us must.
Turkey bacon's the best bacon.
No, it's not. Anywho, bye everybody!